All right.
All right, so who am I here with?
Coach Frey.
All right, so what are key areas you'll focus on in practice the next couple of weeks, just preparing for the games?
So we really want to focus, particularly this week, on our pass rush. They like to throw the ball out. This is a team that we're getting ready to play in Rebuff that has a really good quarterback, some really good receivers. They like to throw it around. They throw a short game. They throw a long game. They have all the weapons, and they do it well. So we really need to put pressure on that guy so that he doesn't feel comfortable in the pocket. We don't want to just let him sit back there and pick where he wants to throw, get him under a little press. So, as the defensive line coach, we want to be able to pick up that pressure from the defensive line. So we want to really focus on that while not giving up run stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you balance addressing mistakes while recognizing the efforts of your players?
Well, so you always want to point out what they do good, but there's always going to be something that you coach from, everything. There's never a perfect game or a perfect player, so there's always that thing that you want to coach, but there's always that thing that they did good. So you do want to balance that, because if you just tell them, all the bad stuff all the time, then no, man, it's just all bad stuff. But like, hey, this is something that you did good, but then you kind of didn't build on that. We got to stack those good things. So we talk about stacking good plays, stacking good technique, and things like that. So I think that's how you balance it.
For sure, yeah. So what lessons do you hope your players take away from the Columbus Horse game?
Well, that we have to be able to execute at a high level all the time, and that we can execute at a high level all the time. We didn't. But if you can do it once, you can do it twice. If you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times. And again, so you got to stack those things up and just pointing out, like, hey, we did some good things along the way, but we didn't do enough good things. And these are the things that we need to address as coaches. If coaches didn't matter, if it was only players, then they wouldn't have coaches. They just have a bunch of players out here, and they'd be running everything around, right? So every little bit matters. What I do with them matters, and so I have to look at myself as well and say, hey, this is something that they need to do. This is something we didn't do well. How do I address that in practice? And how do I translate that to them? Like, hey, you didn't do this well, so we're going to change this in practice so that you can do it better next time.
All right, for sure. Thank you.
You bet, man.